Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick video about the ego and just explain the basic concept behind it. And when I'm talking about the ego, I'm not talking about the Freudian concept, which is the id, which is the reservoir of sexual aggressive energy that acts on impulses, and you've got your superego, which is your conscience, and then you've got the ego, which balances these two worlds. I'm not talking about that. I'm more talking about the universally spiritual known concept of the ego. And there's a lot of misunderstandings, because most of us, when we think of someone that has a big ego, we immediately think that he's a dick, he's selfish, he's self-centered, these kind of things. And to an extent, this can be true, but it's not the whole picture, right? Because at its very core, what the ego is that part of you that identifies with self. Okay, it's your sense of self. It's who you are, right? And it's also that part of you that attaches itself to current paradigms and belief systems. So then when someone else comes along that contradicts our belief systems, the ego gets super defensive. Okay? And what the ego is especially good at is convincing us that we're all separate from one another, right? It creates this whole illusion. And because what the truth is that we're all actually one and the same. And this isn't just some spiritual new age concept. This is a scientific fact. If you get a super powerful microscope and put it onto our bodies, what you're going to see past the trillions of cells, atoms, subatomic particles is pure vibrational energy. And everything in this universe is made from this vibrational energy. So what we got to realize is that we really are one and the same. So when we don't like something about somebody, that's actually a direct reflection of what we need to work on ourselves. And again, I used to think this was some kind of new age jibber jabber, but it's not actually. Because let's say, like, I remember in high school, right, I used to actually, not only did I dislike 90% of people who I interacted with, I especially hated people with like anger issues, who couldn't control their anger, and people who were really narrow-minded. And looking back on hindsight, it's actually really funny, because what I realize now is that I was a very, very angry kid, and I was also very narrow-minded. Go figure, right? So anyone that had a different opinion to what I believe to be true in my little inner world, I immediately disliked them. And this is something actually that you can verify yourself. The more you work on your self-development, the higher the tolerance you're going to have for other people. It's just the way it works. All right, but anyways, back on the ego. The thing is about the ego is that it's not, I'm not saying it's purely this bad, evil thing, because it's not. It's actually what's got us this far in humanity. But it's getting to that point where it's just created this huge imbalance in this world. And it's time to transcend it. Simple as that. It's time to transcend it, because it's really holding us back in making progress in life, right? The ego is why there is such thing as racism and war. And it's actually why we have a fear of death, right? Because it's trying to cling on to our identity, right? And this is why things like ego death can be such a brutal experience. And trust me, it is not pretty. It's not fun at all. And you can get ego death from things like psychedelics or deep meditation. There's various ways. But the reason why it's so especially brutal is because you have to just let go of your sense of self, right? But it's, like I said, as brutal as it can be, afterwards, man, that's when you get such a higher perspective on life and a deeper understanding of reality. You start to appreciate life more. You start to care about others. You start to give a shit more, really. It creates a lot more empathy. And I'm sure there's going to be some of you who think I'm just some new age hippie or whatever. But what's cool is that you can actually verify all these things yourself. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you guys next time.